Hello everyone, today we'll be making Algerian green tea. It's an easy recipe with only a few ingredients, but it results in a delicious afternoon drink. This recipe will make about 6 to 8 teacups, so you can divide the recipe in half or double it depending on the group of people you are serving. Here are all the things we'll need. 50 grams or 10 tablespoons of loose leaf green tea, 75 grams or 6 tablespoons of sugar. This amount is for a medium sweetness. You can add more or less depending on your taste. Feel free to substitute with honey or agave if you prefer that. Fresh mint is optional, but I highly recommend adding it. A mesh strainer, a large or medium pot filled halfway with water, a kettle or small pot that can hold 1 liter or 5 cups of water. The first thing we'll do is take the large pot filled with water and place it on your stove. Turn the heat on high because we want to bring this to a boil. You don't need to measure the water for this step because it's only for rinsing the tea. While we're waiting for the water to boil, we can get other things ready. Here's a closer look at the Chinese green tea we'll be using. Measure out 50 grams using a kitchen scale or 10 tablespoons if you don't have one. You'll also need to measure out 75 grams or 6 tablespoons of sugar. If you haven't already, fill the small pot or kettle with 1 liter or 5 cups of water. Make sure to put the lid on it and then place it on a medium heat on your stove. If you are doubling this recipe, use a higher heat or it will take longer to come to a boil. When you see that the water in your large pot has come to a boil, turn off the heat and add in your green tea. Make sure to stir it thoroughly so it gets submerged in the water. The total time for this recipe is about 45 minutes, but only 15 minutes will be hands-on. The majority of the time is for brewing the tea. Now, set a timer for 7 minutes. In the meantime, I like to fill my sink with some cold water and get the strainer ready because we'll be using it next. Time is up! Grab the large pot with the tea and carefully pour it over the strainer. You're probably wondering why we're throwing away the tea that we just made, but the first step is just to wash the tea and take the bitterness away. We're going to get all the tea leaves out of this pot and then cook it once more. If the tea gets stuck in the pot, use a spoon or add more water to get all the tea out, just like I'm doing in the video. Okay, we got all the tea out. By now, the water in your small pot or kettle should have come to a boil. Turn the heat on low, add your tea along with the fresh mint and give it a good stir. Make sure to place the cover back on the kettle or pot because we want to keep as much water from evaporating as we can. Now start your timer for 30 minutes. Every 10 minutes or so you'll want to open the lid and use a spoon to push down any tea that gets stuck to the side. When the time is almost up, grab the large pot from earlier and place the strainer on top. Okay, time is up. Pour the tea from the small pot or kettle over the strainer and into your large pot. This will separate the tea from the leaves. Add the sugar and give it a stir until it's all dissolved. Now we're going to aerate the tea. Grab a pitcher or the small pot or kettle you used to cook in. Anything big enough to hold the amount of tea you made. Pour the tea from one to another as I'm doing here in the video. Pouring it from this height helps to create air bubbles, which is going to leave us with a smooth, thick tea. I usually pour mine at least 5 times or until I see a thick foam on top. Now pour the tea in whatever you're going to use to serve it. I'll be using the same kettle that I used to cook in. Serve the tea hot. You can garnish it with some fresh mint or add a few drops of lemon juice. It's delicious on its own, but it pairs well with roasted nuts or sweets. Look how beautiful it is. Ooh la la.